Joining us now is global entrepreneur and business strategist Ruble Chandy.
The international entrepreneur and best-selling author Ruble Chandy.
Great to be with you, Melissa, and good morning, Houston. There are hundreds and hundreds of videos, if not thousands of videos on this topic of how to build confidence. And I watched many of them. And many of those videos talk about, hey, how to talk nicely to people and smile at people and be social and all kind of stuff like that. But literally, those things are not going to help you increase your confidence. Confidence is an entirely different game. That's what we are going to talk about. If you know this information, then your life is going to elevate to a different level. It's going to go to a different level of power and confidence and certainty. But if you don't know this information, what is going to happen is whatever you're doing, the business, the career, whatever you're doing, you might do a moderate job and live a moderate life and experience life in the mediocre level. That's why you should listen to this entire video. Self-confidence, self-confidence. So it's a confidence on the self. So we are going to talk about what is a self, and we are going to talk about confidence and what confidence represents, and 3 steps that you could use to significantly increase your confidence, significantly elevate you to the higher next level in your own life, in your own business. Okay, let's get started. So when you say self, self is a package of the whole thing you are. What does that mean? It means you have thoughts, you have your body, you have your mind, you have nice thoughts, you have bad thoughts, you have really pure thoughts, impure thoughts, right? The whole package of the humanness of you, right? That's what the self is. So if you need to truly have self-confidence, you need to be able to appreciate your whole self. That's the first step. Because most of the time, we are judging ourselves. Like maybe our parents, maybe our teachers, maybe somebody else taught you that you should somehow despise you. You should somehow hate you, somehow dislike you, right? And you will be like, oh, I didn't get this grade, this place. I didn't get this thing there. I was not really good at math. I was not really good at studies. Just because you are not good at studies, just because you are not good at relationship, or just because you are not good at health, doesn't mean that you are not good person. If you're not worthy, that you are not worthy of being loved and appreciated. Imagine a friend of yours. You love them so much that you'll do anything. No matter what mistakes that they make, you still love them. You still appreciate them. But do you do yourself that favor? You make a small mistake. You make a small mistake, assuming it's not harming other people. Don't do anything that is adharma, something that hurt other people, hurt the world, or hurt yourself. Make sure that you don't do that. But at the same time, you might make a silly mistake. Why do we need to blame ourselves so much for a small mistake? It's because we learned how to judge us. This judgment of ourselves, this judgment of ourself judging that same self, the country that is fighting against itself, the self that is fighting against itself, that is the biggest killer of confidence. So just by smiling to people, just by socializing with people, just by thinking positively, it's not going to change your confidence because you are fighting inside. The inside fight is not going to stop until you stop fighting. That is judgment. So you're judging yourself so much more than you're judging other people. So your parents, your teachers, or somebody, your grandparent or somebody taught you how to judge you. When you are young, you're like, oh, don't do that. Oh, you're not good. Why you don't get that much grade? Oh, what happened to that? Why couldn't you study more? Why can't you be more responsible? Why are you so lazy? How could you be like this? And all of a sudden, the parents died, maybe, or they are still alive. You continue the judgment about yourself because you want to be this perfect person, the ideal light that is shining all over the world. The other part, we want to deny that part from us. We don't want to deal with that part, right? So that is why we are lacking confidence. So the first step of increasing your confidence dramatically, we're going to talk 2 more steps in a second, and those are really, really important too. So hang in there, stay in the video, make sure that you understand this clearly so that you could dramatically increase your confidence to the next level. But the first step is accept yourself the way it is, with the darkness and the light, with the Deva and Asura, the light and the darkness, the light and the shadow, the whole package of you. Start appreciating you like that. Start looking at a human self of yours as if it's a friend of yours, and fall in love with that person who's not supposedly perfect and is fine. That's the first step. Second step is confidence is in your higher identity. And I'm going to talk about a physical element in a second, why your physicality contributes your confidence. And I'm going to share about that in a second. But before that, let's talk about this particular part. You have a higher identity and you have a lower identity. We are a collection of identities. We think that this is who we are, but who we are and what we stand for is constantly changing like a river. You might have heard this phrase, you cannot step into a river twice. By the time you step into the river again, it's a new river because it has already flown. So we are constantly monitoring the species that is the combination of the mind and the body and the soul that is transforming each moment. So every moment you're looking at yourself, your behavior, your action, your habits, your identity, the stories that you tell yourself to find out who you are. Because who you are is not a constant, it's a variable. Yeah, remember algebra that probably you sucked at, or maybe you're really good at, but it's a variable, it changes, it keeps on changing. Every moment of your existence, your identity is shifting. As this is happening, and you have multiple identities. Some you behave with your friends, you're like so friendly person. With your husband, you are really mean and arrogant person. With your wife, you're like really rude. With your parents, you're like a child. With your somebody else, with your girlfriend, you're like the most romantic person. So the you package has different identities with different people. We're kind of playing this game, right? We think that we are one person, but we are different, entirely different species in different contexts. I'm not saying you have multiple personality disorder, but what I'm saying is you have multiple personalities when you're dealing with different people, multiple people, because we take that part of us, this part of us, selective part of us to deal with some people, right? Like depending upon the person. If you truly observe, you could see that. So we have different personalities. And generally speaking, and there is so much to study about it, and I would love to teach you many of these things, especially if you're running a business. We'll talk about it later. But for now, if you want to subscribe and get more ideas like this, get more clarity about the things that we do, subscribe to this video, and then make sure that you get videos like that. So you get to gain absolute clarity about who you are and how you could grow your business and your career. But let me continue the point. The point is that you, generally speaking, have a higher identity and a lower identity. The higher identity is a dreaming identity. That is like, oh, I want to take over the world. When you're like 5, 10 years old, you're like, I want to be the prime minister of the country that I'm living in. And then I want to be the best runner of the country. And I want to be an astronaut at the same time too. This is a higher identity. Higher identity is aspiring to move to the next level. It's trying to take you to the next level, like setting goals, and I want to achieve them. I have big dreams. And then there is a shallow identity, the weak identity that doesn't want to wake up. If you're sleeping, you're like, oh, I don't want to wake up. The alarm is ringing now. But you know what? This is too difficult for me. I cannot wake up. Oh my gosh, I'm already tired. I'm so tired. I cannot wake up. That's a lower identity. The higher identity, after some time, it's like, hey, why didn't I wake up today? Right? I really was deciding to wake up today. I wanted to start going to gym and starting workout today, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Why? And you're confused. It's like, that doesn't make sense. I really wanted to do it, but I'm still not doing it because the lower identity is taking over. When you're stressed, when you're fearful, when you're afraid about life, about being rejected or feeling like a failure, you calibrate your lower identity. When you're calibrated to your lower identity, there is no way for you to move forward. But the colorful species of us as humans, with the spectrum of colors, the identity that shapes us most of the time, unfortunately, is the lower identity. You want to step out of that and move on to the higher identity, where you are so powerful, so confident, because you are able to activate that. So what you do is, when you see fear, There are so many ways to do it, but I want to give you one specific tip today before I go into the final point, and then we could conclude this conversation. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Put something in the chat, in the comments, if you are enjoying this video, so I know that you're enjoying this. Okay, good. So the specific thing that you could do is look at your fear. Look at the fear in your eyes, with your eyes, into the eyes of the fear, as if it's a person, and have a conversation with fear, as if it's a person with an agenda, right? This person wants to keep us sleeping, not doing much things, just living a moderate life, just living by, and just stand still and ask this person called fear, like, what do you really want? What is going on here? Fear is like, most of them, the fear will be like, oh, I'm so afraid that you're going to fail. Okay, got it. Okay, so if I fail, what will happen? The fear will be, if you fail, you're going to feel that pain and sensation in your body again and again, just like the time you felt last time. Okay, what happens then? Then you're going to be sad. Then you're going to be blaming me, blaming probably God, or your family, your friends, whatever. Okay, so what happens then? And then all of a sudden, fear is like, okay, looks like you're okay with it. Then we could move forward. So this is a rational conversation with an irrational part of us. Because the fear, the part of us that creates fear, it's a real part of us. It's an irrational part of us, but it's a part of us. So you have a conversation with that part and ask that, hey, what's going on? Why can't I do this? And at some point, it's going to say, you know what, I give up. You can move forward. That's it. You have a conversation with fear, with courage from your higher identity. When I say higher identity, go from your power and have this conversation. Don't have this fight with you. Don't fight with fear. In Ramayana, which is an epic from India, there is a character called Bali. It's a fascinating character. So that character gets 2 times the power of anybody who's fighting him. So there's no way to kill him. So you can go read Ramayana if you're listening from other places of the world. It's a beautiful literature, and now epic literature. So now this character cannot be killed, and you can find out how he was killed later. But the point is, fear is like that. Fear gets your power, half of your power. Fear gets its power doubled when you fight with it. You're not going to fight. You're just having a beautiful, friendly negotiation, a conversation with fear. It's like, hey, what's up, buddy? What do you think I shouldn't do this? And then it will start talking to you, and then you can move forward. Let's get to the final point and let's conclude this conversation today. So the final point today is confidence is in your body. So I said 2 things so far. What is the first thing that I said? The first thing that I said, in order to have self-confidence, you should be able to accept your full self. Otherwise, how are you going to accept yourself if you're accepting only part of yourself? How could you have self-confidence if you're accepting only part of yourself? Right? That's where it all starts. The next step is finding and connecting with your higher identity. Understanding that we are not a static thing. We are like a river that you cannot step into twice. We are keeping on moving as a species, and we are moving from one level to another level, and we keep on moving from one level to another. And then understand that what we think who we are, it keeps on changing too. That's why we have higher identities and lower identities. You have higher identities and lower identities, and we need to figure out a way to connect with the higher identity, which I gave you a specific step, conversating with your fear so that you could move forward. The final thing that I told you, confidence is in your body, right? If you see somebody really confident, you would see that their shoulders are open, their chest is up, right? Their head is up. Like even the slightest changes in neck, like, using neck, bringing your chin down, that actually is a protection, biological protection mechanism. Like humans, biologically, in order for us to protect ourselves for over the years, whether it is 10,000 years or 4 million years, based on what you believe, in order to protect ourselves, we had to protect our neck, and we had to protect our groin area, right? So why? Because it is easy for somebody to attack us and then kick us in our groin area, and it would hurt us a lot, or it could get us killed. Or like if they have a sharp object, they could actually cut our throat. It's very easy, like in fights and everything. That's why in karate, what people do is they move, keep their hand like this, for example, and this is what they do, right? So what they do is they keep their hand like this so that something happens, they could protect their upper area. And then they keep, I mean, I cannot show my leg right now. I'll have a different video where I'll be showing off my leg. I'm kidding. But the point is that you keep your leg in a certain way so that it's angling sideways. So somebody kick, you can protect. Like if somebody kicks your groin area, you could actually block like this, right? But you are in a sideway angle because you're trying to protect your body. The same way, even when there is nobody fighting you, you are actually protecting your body by bringing your neck down, right? You're bringing your neck down. So if you open up your neck, what happens is you're more vulnerable, right? You're more vulnerable. You are able to be more vulnerable when you're powerful. So you open up your body, especially if you're a woman, right? Especially in Eastern cultures, women, like especially in their puberty, and then when they are developing their chest or breast, what happens is they have the shame about, oh my gosh, I have this chest, and all of a sudden they start walking like this. They don't want to open up their body, right? There's nothing shameful about embracing your body, right? So you need to stand up and stand straight and embrace your body, whether you're a man or a woman, so that you are opening up a body, and your body is up, your chin is up, the chin is up. People say chin up, right? They don't know what they were talking about sometimes, but this is what they mean, right? Your chin is up, your body is up, your shoulder is up, your chest is up, and your legs are open. And now you're standing like this, and you open up your body. And when you talk with certainty, talk with power. All of a sudden you have confidence. So now your body is speaking confidence. You don't need to do anything else. I said, if you do this itself will dramatically shift the way. It sounds so simple. You might be like, oh my gosh, this is no big deal. I could just move my body and increase confidence. I would have done it 20 years ago. Yes, you could have done it 20 years ago, but you didn't do it, right? It's about doing it. It's not about simplicity of what I'm saying. I could give you complex ideas, but you need to listen and follow through in order to build confidence. So the confidence is in your body, like being able to like stand up and experience yourself, being present in your body, expanding your body. And when you're talking, like talk firmly, right? Expanding your body, your confidence will show up. You bring all of this together, being able to accept your full self and being able to like calibrate with higher identity, and then open up your body together. You bring a cycle of confidence, where you accepting yourself will increase your confidence, and then you accepting and connecting with your higher identity will increase your confidence even more, and your body will increase your confidence even more, and it becomes a cycle, a perpetual cycle of growth, of dominance. Whether you're a business person, this will help you to take over your market. If you're a career person, it will help you grow in your career. Wherever you are, this is going to help you to build confidence like a Greek god. Right? That's what I want to share with you. If you like video that we shared right now, if you like this kind of content, subscribe to our channel. Be part of the movement that we are creating all over the world in helping businesses to grow to the next level. To your confidence. Signing off.
You had to go through some crazy experience in your life. I understand that, but you can change that today.